SQL injection is a type of an attack where an attacker can compromise a backend database. This is usually done by using application inputs, simple application inputs, to sneak in malicious code which can alter the backend SQL to 1. Do damage like drop a table or insert bad data. 2. It could be used to retrieve more information than the original query was intended to do. The third one is to just overload the database and do bad things, right? In this video, we will learn and we will demonstrate how one can execute a SQL injection, and we will go through 3 points. We're going to talk about a SQL injection example. Then we're going to show you actual code of how this actually happened using Express and Postgres. And finally, we'll go through how can you prevent SQL injection attack. This is coming up. What's up, y'all? This is Hussein Nasser from iGeometry, where we discuss software engineering by example. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Hussein, and in this channel, we discuss all kind of software engineering content and videos by example. So if you're interested to become a better software engineer, consider subscribing. With that said, let's just jump into the video. So the first thing we're going to talk about here is an actual SQL injection example. And here I have an API which retrieves, it looks like a very simple API, okay, which literally takes an ID, queries the database at the back end, and then retrieve to me the details of that person. Okay, so it's a profile ID essentially. So you give me an ID, I'll give you the information, right? So ID number 9 is Harper, ID number 10 is Amelia, okay, and so on. So that is the scope of the API. It wasn't intended to do anything else. So one might, if you really understand how SQL works, you will imagine that there is a where clause at the back end where ID equal 10, right? So something at the back end is querying a database. So what if you really know basic SQL, what you can do is malform the query in order to retrieve more information. So what you would do is say, okay, ID is equal 10 or 1 is equal 1. So basic discrete mathematics tells us, like, if you're using or, that means if this condition is true or this condition is true, the statement is true. That means for every row in the database, this statement will always be true because 1 is always equal to 1, right? And what will happen is I just got all the profiles in this database. You just literally stole everything. And a lot of databases has been compromised by literally just using that. Okay, so how does this work, guys? So let's just jump into point 2 where we actually show you the code and just describe how this happens. All right, guys, so this is the code that allows us to basically connect to a Postgres database from Express and from nodejs essentially, and then make a query and then return back a result. So we have made a very popular video called JavaScript and Postgres. I'm going to reference the video there so you can learn about that. So I'm not going to go through the code here, but in general, you would specify at the back end here, you will connect to the database, and then you will receive a GET request, which is our profile API here. And then what we're going to do here, receive the ID, that's the property, this one in particular, give me the value of the ID, which is 10 in this case, and then store it in this const, and then make a query, and this is the query. Select star from profile where ID is equal, literally equal this. And that's the bad query here that we have made. Because we have made this into a string, what happened here is when you do basically a safe number, let's put a breakpoint here so I can show you guys what's going on here. If I literally execute that, I will basically got a breakpoint here. ID will be 10, as you can see, and this query will be replaced with 10, right? So ID will be equal to 10, execute that thing, return the headers, and you can see there's one row only, okay, because obviously it's a primary key, so there's one ID. But what an attacker will do is basically will do or 1 equal 1 or just 2 equal 2, literally any statement that is always true. If you do that, come back here, and guess what? That's the bad thing here, guys. ID is now, look at what ID is. ID is equal 10 or 2 equal 2. So you injected that where clause into your statement, and that became essentially an entire, became part of the query, which is the worst thing you can do, guys. So what happens here is like, okay, I'm gonna execute that, but guess what? Results now is 1,000 rows, because I think I have 1,000 rows in this database, right? And then I've essentially returned everything to the client. Look at that. Violet, Mila, we got them all. We got all their email addresses. All of them living in California for some reason, because I was just lazy. I didn't want to pull different states when I just malformed this SQL. All right, point number 3, guys. Point number 3. How can I protect myself against it? So there are many ways to fix this, right, guys? Obviously, that's the bad thing here, right there. You just don't take input from the web and then just shove it into a SQL. Never. You have to sanitize it. Check that ID must be a number. That's one solution. Check that ID is not longer than blah, right? Check that if it's a string, it becomes more problematic, right? But ID is, in case of ID, it's numbers, like easy to check. If it's number, just have to be a number. That's one check. And the best solution is the client that you're using, whether in case I'm using a PG in the nodejs library, and they give you this guy, I think his name Brian, and he actually sanitizes his your input for you, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And to do that is, don't do that. And instead of just shoving the ID here, what you do is you put a parameter. Wait, I think it's like that. So parameter number 1, parameter number 2. You can put as many parameter as you want in the string, but you add a parameter here as the query takes another function, and that's an array of parameters, and then put your ID here. That's what you do here. Now, what happens here is he will take that SQL, take all that, and he will sanitize, make sure the ID is actually number, and actually he might actually query the schema and see what's the type of this field, and accordingly do stuff with it. All right, guys, so we have restarted the server. Now this is my new code. What I will do is just, I'm gonna do the normal, okay, give me just 9, make sure the query executes, right? And that actually executes, give me Harper, okay? Now let's try to sneak in a SQL injection here, okay? And that's what I'm gonna do. Then enter, comes back here. What are we gonna do? ID is actually 9 or 3 equal 3, but if I do that, what are we gonna do? Oh, we caught it. We caught an error, guys. Invalid input syntax for integers. So Brian here actually found that ID is supposed to be an integer, but you guys passed me a string. So he failed, okay? And he's gonna do all kind of sanitizing. If it's a string, especially if it's a name, if it's like a name or string, then it's gonna become really challenging. So you really need to be careful of that. And just like that, we're protected now, guys. All right, guys. So what do we have learned today? What have we learned? We learned about the SQL injection. What does this definition means, right? It's either you can destroy the database, right? Retrieve more information that you intended to, or actually just overload the database. And in this case, literally, guys, if you do 1 equal 1, you're essentially doing a full table scan on the database. Do a couple of those, couple hundreds of those, your database is done, right? So anyone can literally take down the database by executing these queries, because if I have, now I have like 1,000 rows, but if you have 100,000 million rows, then definitely the database is going down by simple SQL injections. It doesn't have to return this information as long as the query is chugging at the back end. That can be really harmful. All right, so we learned about that. We learned how to actually do a SQL injection in code, right? And we also learned how to prevent it. All right, guys, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe for more software engineering content and like that. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. You guys stay awesome.